Hello everybody, my name is Dan Nielsen from iWed Solutions DJ Service. I've been DJing weddings since 1996 and officiating since 2003. So here's a tip for you. When you're looking for wedding DJs, make sure that the guy or gal you're getting in there has a lot of experience. And when I say a lot, I'm talking 50, maybe 100, or even more weddings under their belt. This way you know that they've seen everything that can go wrong in a wedding, for the most part. They're going to be able to handle and react to it. It's going to be great. When you get a guy that's never done a wedding, who maybe a club DJ or just like a backyard kind of a guy, is he going to know when to do introductions? Is he going to even do, is he going to play your first dance correctly? Is he going to introduce the best man correctly with the right name? None of that stuff is probably going to happen without an experienced DJ. The DJ is the MC, the master of ceremonies, is the guy who's going to be running the show, not the florist, not the photographer, not the banquet hall. It's the DJ. And that is very important. Keep that in mind when you're searching around for a DJ. So I met with the bride and groom, and they said that they're thinking about having the guy from the warehouse DJ their wedding. I kind of had that surprised look on my face, and I had to tell them the story about when, about a year ago, I was DJing a corporate event. I had everything under control, and I kept on hearing some loud, weird music on the other side of the room. And the DJ kept on coming over and asking for specific songs, like some cocktail music and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh yeah. So I had a little thumb drive. I'd give it over to him. Like, okay, that's a cool request. But then he came back. He's like, can you give me a half an hour of dinner music? So I had asked the question, like, okay, what is going on here? And he says, I work with the guy in the factory, and he goes, I'm DJing their wedding, and they're asking for stuff I don't have. So when I looked at his set list, and in his music list, he literally had 150 songs he brought to this thing, and I didn't recognize a single one of them. It was just crazy club music. So I said, is there any Sinatra on here? He goes, Sinatra? Who? I'd never even heard of the guy. I'm like, all right, so I feel like I have to jump in and help this guy, because that bride and groom just assumed he was a DJ, that he would be able to take care of everything. And they didn't do the proper planning and talking to each other, and their wedding was going to get ruined. Now, sure, they paid $400 for the guy, but was it worth it? No. Just imagine if you just paid a couple $100 and got a quality wedding DJ in there. None of this stuff would have happened. Here's another hot tip for you. I was a guest at a wedding last year, and I was kind of looking around, making sure the DJ is doing what he was supposed to be doing. And during dinner, the father of the bride gets up, ready to make a toast. The DJ hands him over the microphone immediately. The dad starts talking, and out of the corner of my eye, I see the videographers and the photographers running. By the time they got up there, Dad was done. Said an absolutely beautiful couple of words that are not recorded. Even the guests couldn't get their phones out fast enough for this thing. Completely missed, completely forgotten, very sad. And totally the DJ's fault for that. How do you fix that problem? Well, you make sure that if anybody's going to be doing some toast, you can say, before I hand this microphone over, I'm going to make sure that the photographers are rolling. I'm going to make sure the bride and groom are there, making sure they don't have a face full of food, and then talk away. The stage is yours. All right. Well, when we're talking about personalities of a DJ, that is very important. When you're looking for DJs, of course, you're going to look for experience and price and everything like that. But when it comes down to personality, if you're deciding between the two, make sure that you're going to be choosing what you want at your wedding. There's all sorts out there. You got the guys who are going to be quiet and probably not say a word all night, but they're going to be technically excellent and not miss a single beat. Then you got the guys in the middle who are going to talk a little bit when needed. They're going to throw you a great party, and everything's going to be fine. Grandma, grandpa, all the kids are, everybody's going to be happy. And then you got what I call maybe the loudmouth guys. Guys are going to be all rah-rah. They bring out dancers. They do the air-filled saxophones, all that kind of stuff. So you need to make the decision on what personality you want at your wedding and what you're trying to portray, and choose accordingly. Here's a tip on uplighting. I highly recommend it. It looks fantastic in the room. It looks fantastic on pictures, whether it's your photographer's pictures or even your guest's pictures. It's going to be all over the place. And what a great way to fill an entire venue with lights and feelings and warmth for a couple $100. Uplighting, $3,000 to $5,000, maybe $1,000 at the max. I don't think anybody's charging $1,000 these days. But money well spent. You won't regret it. Here's another one for you. When you're looking at other vendors, take your DJ's referral very seriously. These guys have seen a lot of the bad guys that are out there, like let's say, for instance, the videographers or the photographers. When I talk about the bad stuff, I'm like, they know that this guy's going to be a smoker all night. They know he's going to be on his phone. You know, he might be, this guy swears a lot, or he's just, his personality is a jerk. Sure, his pictures might be okay, but you need the whole package. Take that into consideration and do your research and make sure you're reading reviews and taking the referrals seriously. So, as far as ministry is concerned, I've been told that, oh, my friend is going to do it. I'm like, okay, great. How many services has your friend performed? Oh, this is his first one. It's going to be great. We've been best friends for a long time. And I get that look in my eye. I'm like, wow, this is going to be absolutely terrible. And but I don't say that because it's their friend. What am I going to do? But I say, just keep in mind, you know, that if they're not public speakers, they're going to look nervous. Because their ceremony isn't refined, hasn't been fine-tuned. Sure, it might sound okay, but you need somebody who's done a ceremony many times that is going to be flawless. They're going to speak well. They're not going to be up there with their papers like shaking like crazy. The other part that I see that goes terribly is when you get to the vows, they'll give them 2 or 3 sentences to repeat. And like look over and like, why aren't you repeating this? You got to break that down and just, or the other thing I see, like, ladies and gentlemen, please rise as the bride comes down the aisle, okay? And then they don't let them sit down. They go, you know, the half an hour and people are looking around at each other like, are we supposed to sit? And, you know, very awkward. So get an experienced minister in there. Let them take care of it. Grooms and best men, this one is for you. You know a speech is coming up, right? It's a typical best man speech. When you're writing this thing, actually write something out if you can, even if it's on your phone, if you have to read it. But make sure you're putting a beginning, like, hey, this is how I met my buddy. Make sure there's a middle, I'm happy for you, and then there's an ending, we're love you, that kind of thing, and a cheers, let's toast, to them. Just got to be prepared for that kind of stuff. And it doesn't have to be about length. It just has to be, a nice quality toast. Make it good because it's going to be recorded. All right, brides and grooms, this one is for you. You're going to have to do a first dance for the most part, and it's going to be recorded. And my biggest suggestion is to stand in your living room, play that song, and dance it. You might be surprised with the beat. It might not match. It might not be like, whoa, this is awkward, and like, which way do we go, and do I dip you? And practice it. You won't regret it, and do it like 5 or 6 times. As a dancer myself, I've actually found that there's certain songs out there that just don't work. Sound beautiful, seem like they'd be great danceable. Nope, terrible. Choose a different song or practice it harder.